Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome back to a review today. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of a review and a comparison between the new Olight Seeker 4 Mini and the Arkfeld UV from Olight. So the Olight Seeker 4 is a UV light, which is one of the reasons why I was interested in it. And I actually have very similar stats on both of these guys. But of course, in your packaging, you get your normal safety stuff, your user manual, nice little tray that the light comes in, charger, and a lanyard. I'd already opened this and charged it previously, so I could test it out and make sure it was going to work right and do what I wanted it to. Size-wise, it's actually pretty good size. It's just about the width of the palm of my hand. Has a nice feel to it whenever you're holding it. Now, I will say I carried this for a little bit today, and I've been carrying the Arkfeld. And a drawback, in my opinion, for like an everyday carry is just how bulky it is, I guess, in your pocket. And then another thing for me is the double-sided clip. Neither side of it really sinks it far enough into the pocket for me. Now, if those aren't detractors for you, it's a great light. I have to say I really like it, but I don't know that it would be in my everyday carry rotation for that. So in my opinion, this guy right here, if the deep carry clip, the flatter profile, I think that this is definitely a little bit better for my uses anyway on the everyday carry side. Now, stats wise, I got both of them in neutral white because I kind of like that warm tint better than the typical cool light. And outputs are very similar. So this guy right here on turbo is 1200 lumens, whereas this one's 1000 lumens. They're both rechargeable. And then the UV light is a little bit more output on this one than on this one as well. And I have to say that actually the way that this reflector is shaped compared to the optic that's on the Arkfeld, or the way that reflector is, this one actually seems to put out a whole lot better UV light than this guy. It seems like you can kind of see across the room, and I'm going to pause here in a few minutes. I'm going to give you a couple of beam shots later when it gets dark so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But overall, I mean, it's a pretty solid light. One of the main reasons why I was interested in it is my wife kind of liked the UV aspect of the Arkfeld, and so she told me she wanted a UV light that she could carry so that she could do some stuff with it as well. And since she'll probably be carrying it in a purse, I don't think that the bulk of it's really going to bother her too much, because I actually was tempted to keep this one for me and let her switch out to this one. But overall, after using it for a day, I think I'm just going to stick with this guy. Anyway, so we'll pause for a few minutes and we will get back. We'll go over some more features of it, maybe how you can switch between modes, things like that. Pricing on the two is actually, I think, almost identical. I think they're both for like 79, maybe 89. They're pretty close to each other, so it's not really, if budget's an issue, they're both going to be right there. So that's not really a deciding factor, in my opinion, between the two. For me, it really just comes down to the shape of this guy here and the how deep the pocket clip will let you carry it. All right, so like I was saying, we're going to pause now for a minute. We're going to get some beam shots so you can kind of compare the two and see what they look like, and we'll finish up from there. So thank you. Okay, so we're back and we're going to be doing these outdoor tests that I was talking about with the Seeker 4 Mini and the Arkfeld. The Seeker 4 is the 1200 lumen and the Arkfeld's the 1000 lumen. And so just to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like in my very spacious downtown lot backyard, we have a maybe whopping roughly 50 feet to that chain link, and then it's maybe another 15 or 20 feet to the next section of privacy fence on the other side of all that tall grass in the alley. So this is what you're seeing right now with our back light on. We're going to turn that off and get it dark out here. All right, so now you see it is a good dark night. So first we will look at the Arkfeld, and I'm going to go ahead and switch it on turbo mode. So there's the Arkfeld on turbo, and like I said, that chain link fence is about 55 feet from here. Kind of give you a little panoramic of all the nice trash in my yard, my lovely above ground swimming pool, some trees over yonder. All right, and this is the neutral white, sorry, variant. Okay, now we're going to switch over, and this is going to be the Seeker 4, and this is 1200 lumens. So there it is on turbo, 1200 lumens. See, it's not a huge difference necessarily between those two, at least maybe not showing up on the camera as much. And we'll pan back over, and then next I'll try to get the UV light. Not sure how well this is going to work, so again I'll switch back to the Arkfeld, and we'll see how it looks. Yeah, it's not really, as you can see a little bit of trash there on the grass, or my fake grass actually, since we don't have real grass too much here. So you can't really see too much of that right there. Let me turn that off, and then we will switch over. Now this is the Seeker, and I don't think it's showing up on video very well, but it's actually giving quite a bit better look with that. You can actually see kind of a good beam circle that's pretty wide, you know, hitting that stuff on the grass right there. It's doing a really good job. So when it comes down to it, for beam quality, I think that the Seeker 4, you know, at least on the UV light, definitely outperforms the Arkfeld. But when it comes to the comfort of carrying, I think the Arkfeld's the way to go. So I hope you enjoyed this, appreciate it, and if you have any questions, just leave me a comment and we'll go from there. Thank you. Okay, so we're back outside after reviewing the video that we made last night of the Arkfeld and the Seeker 4. It was kind of clear that the UV light did not show up very well. So we're gonna try tonight maybe a couple of little different targets, I guess we'll call them, to maybe show off the difference in the beams. I hope this will show up a little bit better. Sorry, our neighbor's dog is really having a cow tonight for some reason. And so we'll have a nice ambiance background noise of a dog barking. Anyway, so that being said, let me put this on turbo real quick. This is the Arkfeld on turbo. And what I've got here in my backyard is I got a couple of chairs with some towels draped over them. And I'm just going to pan them real quick, or hit them real quick with the UV lights, just so you can see. And remember, the fence, that chain link fence, is probably between 50-55 feet from here, so that forest chair with the towel on it, you know, is maybe about 10 feet in front of that. So we're looking about 45 feet on the chair on the left. And then we got another, you know, maybe 10 feet between the chairs. So we're probably looking, you know, I don't know, what's that? 45, about 35-ish feet to the chair with the white towel. All right, we'll start with the Arkfeld again. So that's just so you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. And so here's the Arkfeld on UV. All right, so as you can see, if I kind of shine it between the two, obviously you can see the closest towel pretty bright, and the towel that's a little bit further back, you can see it, but it's definitely, you know, dimmer. All right, just kind of move it around a little bit just so you can kind of get an idea. Kind of go side to side a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to the Seeker 4. All right, so here's the Seeker 4. And again, I can't tell how well it's showing up on video, but you can definitely see it's a little bit more, I guess we'll say, targeted, but you can see the ring, you know, the circle of the beam itself really good. It does a really good job of a focus. It's not as diffused. Anyway, so just kind of going back and forth between these two, just to kind of give you an idea of how it looks. And I hope this helps. I know it's not perfect, but maybe it'll kind of give you an idea just of the different beams on those two. And anyway, so yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you or talk to you next time.